the tenure of the INEC chairman will soon expire, and I learned that they're looking for a new chairman. So the international community can now put pressure on the president that, Mr. President, you have to get a chairman that is impartial. The electoral body have to play by the rules. Follow the rules, due process. Because I tell you, even with coalition, if INEC, the structure of INEC remains the same, and everything with INEC now, both the Electoral Act, the law, and INEC structure as it is stays the same. There is no change. Forget about 2027. The ruling party has already won. The only way that the opposition party can stand a chance is if they apply international pressure so that there will be pressure on INEC. So that those who are in charge of INEC knows that the international community are watching. They know that if the elections are not properly conducted, if there are a lot of irregularities and all that, maybe their visas will be seized and all of those things. So when they are aware of that pressure, right, they know that, okay, let's try and do something, right? And another thing is, with elections, you have to, some things have to fall in your favor. I remember 2008 when Obama won the election. I followed that election even got me interested in politics and all that. Things fell in Obama's favor. You had George Bush, who has ruled for 8 years, and the economy there was recession, He has fought a horrible war in Iraq, and things were bad in Iraq, and all that. So Iraq war was bad, the economy was bad, a lot of things were bad. And that fell in Obama's favor. And you had a situation whereby the Republican Party have been in power for 8 years and people want change. So people want change. The economy was bad, so there was, so all of those things. Obama came with his oratory prowess of hope and change and all that. So his messaging and everything now collided. Now, there was a synergistic effect of his message and the situation on ground, and that prepared him to win. So certain things have to fall in your favor for you to win an election. Now things are bad in the country. That should play to the opposition's favor, right? Ideally, it should play to the opposition's favor. Now, the opposition now need to have someone who's like an Obama, who would have that message of hope and change, right? And someone that people can look up to. So that brings me to another thing. Now, if you look at the figures, look at those people that are forming this coalition. You have Atiku Abubakar. You have Obi. Now, Atiku Abubakar has been contesting. He wants to be president since 1993. He contested in the SDP primaries against MKO Abiola in 1993. He had to step down and Abiola emerged. Even when he was vice president in 1999, he wanted to contest so that Obasanjo will be one-term president. He didn't even want to wait till Obasanjo complete 2 terms in 2007. That's 1999 to midway, I think 2003. Atiku wanted to contest. And that was part of the problem that led to the feud between him and Obasanjo. Atiku had always desired to be president. So now, you are telling me that Atiku, who has been contesting, he contested in 2019, he didn't win. Contested in 2023, he didn't win. And now, he is the older person. The other candidates are younger. You expect him to now say, okay, let me support another candidate. And he doesn't represent hope and change. He's on the other side. And he's not that very popular. He was an option. It was, let's put it like this. Let's say you have 2 candidates, right? And this one is like this. It was an option. So people saw him as an option, right? If you are not satisfied with this, okay, you can look at this person. So Atiku is an option. He has never been a popular candidate. If you look, when Buhari was contesting, Buhari was very popular. All the elections he had, he was very popular in the north. He had like a cult-like following in the north. So the only time Atiku could win a lot of northern votes was in 2023 when Buhari was not in the ticket. You understand? So Atiku has never been a very popular candidate. He has been an option, right? He's elderly. He cannot bring a message of hope and change like the way an Obama brought in America. Now, the person that could bring that message of hope and change is Peter Obi. But in a coalition, would Atiku Abubakar agree for a Peter Obi to be a candidate while he maybe vice running mate or this thing? I don't think so. Because Atiku Abubakar has spent a lot of resources over the years. Since 1993, he has spent a lot of resources with the singular purpose of becoming president. I don't see him allowing Peter Obi. And Atiku Abubakar has the political experience and the resources to ensure that he emerges the candidate of the coalition. You know? So that's going to be a problem. Atiku cannot sell a message of hope and change against a bad economy that we are in. But in a coalition with Atiku there, he's not going to allow another person to emerge. Now, Peter Obi has a message of hope and change, a message that will resonate. But in terms of playing that politics, he's not a typical Nigerian politician. Can he play that politics? The politics that will make him emerge in a coalition of different political parties? I doubt. The way that Atiku Abubakar can emerge is when there is a consensus, when there is an agreement among all the parties forming the coalition that look, just as they did in 2013 to 2015, when Buhari emerged as a candidate, they had an agreement, they had a consensus that, okay, we have formed this coalition. Which candidates will better represent the message we want to pass? And which candidates will better do this? And they agreed that it was going to be Buhari. And they fought for that. Now, if there's a consensus in this 2025 coalition, again, preparing for 2027, if there's a consensus that Peter Obi should be the consensus candidate, and they agree that, okay, Atiku agrees, everybody agrees, and he emerges, then he can sell the message of hope and change and all of that. But at the end of the day, this coalition needs to form around a candidate, and they need to apply local and international pressure for them to stand a chance. If there's pressure, the government can be forced to ensure that whoever is emerging as INEC chairman is someone who is impartial, who is apolitical, who is not affiliated to any political party. And then there will be pressure on INEC structure to ensure that things are done properly and the election is conducted in a free and fair manner, that will give a chance for the opposition party to win. But if these things doesn't happen, as it is now, this going from one party to the other, that is not a proper coalition. Stay in your party, stay in your Labour, stay in your PDP, then merge. These different parties, pull your forces together, pull your structure together, and now merge as one party. Thus, they now have a united front to fight against the ruling party. In the absence of that, all this one is just mere politicking. We shouldn't work. I hope that they are realistic about this. I hope that they form whatever they want to form early enough so that they'll have enough time, and then they should hope that things should fall in their favor. Events should fall in their favor for there to be the outcome that they desire. So that's my take on the coalition.